Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Microbial World. In this video, we will be discussing about botulism caused by Clostridium botulinum, properties of botulinum toxin, source of contamination, pathogenesis, clinical manifestations, treatment and control measures will be discussed. Botulism is a life-threatening foodborne disease that causes neuroparalysis from the consumption of botulinum neurotoxins. It is a rare disease, but it has high fatality rate. Even a small amount of toxin can kill millions. Source of Clostridium botulinum contamination. Clostridium botulinum is anaerobic, spore former, gram-positive bacterium, and its spores are widely distributed in the environment from soil to sewage, mud, lakes, sediments of sea and oceans, and it is also found in the intestine of land and aquatic animals. Clostridium botulinum spores contaminating honey and syrup are a major source of infant botulism. Poorly processed canned foods are also a main source of contamination. This is because the spores can tolerate high heating temperature during processing. Other food sources include various types of lake and sea fishes, smoked, salt-dried and fermented meat products. Type A and B botulinum neurotoxins are commonly present in soil and biofertilizers. Therefore, they can contaminate vegetables and fruits. Improperly cooked vegetable products are also a source of contamination. It can include beans, baked potatoes, corn, mushrooms, onions and olives. Properties of botulinum toxin, which is also called Botox. Toxin is produced in food during growth and autolysis of bacteria. Proteolytic strain produce toxin in active form, but some non-proteolytic strain produce toxin in inactive form. This inactive toxin become active in stomach by acid hydrolysis. Unlike the enterotoxin of Staphylococcus aureus, this neurotoxin is damaged by heating at 80 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes. Botulinum toxin is the most toxic chemical found in nature. Pathogenesis of botulism. The orally ingested botulinum toxin must resist stomach acid. Only then it can pass through the intestine where it gets absorbed and colonizes in the duodenum and jejunum. The toxin then passes into the bloodstream, taken up by endocytosis and reaches the peripheral nervous system. The botulinum toxin is an exotoxin. It has A chain and B chain. A chain has enzyme activity, that is zinc endopeptidase, and B chain is for binding cell receptors such as polycyalogangliosides and glycoproteins. So once it gets inside the neuron, its chain gets cleaved where it acts as a zinc-dependent protease and attacks snare proteins. It binds at the ending point of the nerve muscle junction and prevents the release of acetylcholine. Then the transmission of stimuli stops and this results in flaccid paralysis. Clinical manifestations. Symptoms are visible within 18 to 38 hours of ingestion, and it affects the gastrointestinal tract at an initial stage. Common symptoms include abdominal pain, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and sometimes constipation. After the intoxication, neurological symptoms appear, and this includes flaccid paralysis, symmetric descending weakness, slurred speech, difficulty in swallowing, dizziness, blurred vision, dry mouth, and extraocular muscle weakness. In infant botulism, babies under 1 year are most affected, and they will have a poorly developed gut microflora where the toxins are formed in the intestine. Symptoms like weak hoarse cry, inability to hold their head upright, poor suck, and weak muscles may appear. In case of wound botulism, the organism colonizes in the infected part like wound, abscess, pus where the Clostridium spores will germinate and produce toxin. The symptoms include hypotension, respiratory problems, eye muscle paralysis, ataxia, and dilated fixed pupils. Death usually occurs within 3 to 6 days of intoxication in case of fatality. Treatment of botulism can be separated into 3 processes. First treatment is removal of unabsorbed neurotoxin from intestinal tract, for example by inducing vomiting. Second treatment involves neutralization of neurotoxin by ingestion of antibody, that is anti-toxin. It is the only successful treatment of botulism. Third treatment involves curing of symptoms, for example by artificial breathing. Control measures include proper heat treatment above 121 degrees Celsius and refrigeration below 4 degrees Celsius of foods. Acidifying agents such as citric acid reduces the chance of spore formation in canned products. Avoid food that you suspect is undercooked or not well reheated. So this is all about botulism. Hoping that the video was informative and helpful. Thank you.